My name's Lucy Guerra. I'm the Business Analyst Product Manager at Esri in the Location Analytics team. And today I'm going to show you a little bit about what's new in Business Analyst Online over the past year. So are all of you currently users of Business Analyst Online? No? Some yes, some no? Yeah? Okay. Excellent. Well, what brought you to this session? Do tell.
I have Business Online. I have Business Analysis, the desktop version.
Oh, okay. So you're currently a desktop user. Okay, excellent. Well, let's get started. So for the benefit of those that haven't used Business Analyst before, Business Analyst Online is our online version of the Business Analyst product. It's filled with loads and loads of data, demographic, consumer, business data. We also include our Tapestry lifestyle segmentation data. Excuse me. And you can use that information in conjunction with areas around the country that you deem as trade areas or market areas to learn more about those consumers. And you can run reports on these areas, or you can actually use the product itself to create color-coded maps and learn more visually. So there are 5 new things that I'll talk about today that are new in Business Analyst Online over the past year. So first, what you'll notice is we have a new look. There's a clue here. The reason we have a new look is because we have a great new feature, which we'll get to at number 1. So stay tuned for that. The 4th item is that we added multi-user subscriptions. So this is critical for organizations where we're starting to see more users, and this has now afforded them the opportunity to set up subscriptions for multiple users. Number 3, vintage icons. So this past year was a really big data year for us. And this has everything to do with the switch from Census 2000 data to Census 2010 data. So when Census 2010 was conducted and the data was released, it basically turns the data world upside down, right? We start from scratch. We have new geographies to work with. We have new data to work with. And we have to incorporate all of that into our own modeling and development of updated data. So while we didn't get all the new data at once, we have to sort of streamline it in so that we have the new data when it's available, but we keep the old data as we fill it in and as we update it. So this became important because we have reports and data that are based on the older Census 2000 based geographies, and we also have reports now based on the newer Census 2010 based geographies. So we've now added into the report tabs an icon where you can read what vintage geography that data is available in. As well, you can also use the data icons to learn what the data vintage is. So we've got 2011 Esri updates, we have Census 2010 data, and we also have ACS data, which is another set of data that the Census Bureau releases that is based on a rolling average. So it isn't called Census 2010, it's actually called 2005 to 2009, or 2006 to 2010. So we had all these very complicated dates to keep track of, and this is how we're helping our users keep track of that. So I'll point this out in the demo. So number 2, all that data I was talking about. So the Census Bureau released their data twofold. First, there was the redistricting data that provided information on the population. And then there was the rest of the census data, which is called SF1 or Summary File 1. And this is where we gained additional information on population, age by sex data, additional race data, households by size and type, and then also owner and renter occupied information. We also released the 2011 Esri updates, and this is the data that's based on Census 2010 geographies, which is a complete shift from what we had originally. And what we did was release an updated demographic and income profile report, which includes updated information on population, households, housing units, age by sex, race, and income data. Now, this was our very first release of our own updates on the Census 2010 geography base. So this was a big release for us. There are a few more demo theaters today and tomorrow that focus specifically on the data. There's one today at 1:30 that's an overview of Esri data that might be interesting for you to attend and get a little bit more information on this. And then tomorrow at 3 o'clock and 3:30, we've got information on the Census 2010 release, as well as information on the ACS rolling average data, the American Community Survey data. That's at 3:30 tomorrow. So equally important and exciting for us was the fact that we were part of a data accuracy study this past year. We commissioned a blind study with 4 independent researchers to do a checks and balances, if you will, on our own data updates compared to the Census 2010 data. And we do this every 10 years. You know, we use the census data as our litmus test to see how well we do from year to year in our own update models. And this year we took it a little step further, and we commissioned this group to test our data against the Census 2010, as well as some of our major competitors or major other data providers in this space. And what came back was that our data was ranked #1 in precision and accuracy. These precision scores are collected at every level of geography you see here. And the lower the number, the better. It's the higher accuracy. And what was unique about this test is that we commissioned the study for the entire United States, as opposed to cherry-picking areas that we thought maybe we had better accuracy. We actually did this for the whole United States and at these 4 levels of geography. So we're really excited about this. There's more information about the study. There's a document that you can read through if you're interested in that at esri.com/accuracy. So additional data that we released in Business Analyst Online this year included 2011 consumer spending data. This is a set of data that's built up off of the consumer expenditure survey performed by the Bureau of Labor Statistics. We use our Tapestry segmentation data to model that kind of expenditures across the rest of the United States. So that's now in 2010 geography, the newer geography. We also updated market potential. This is another survey type database. The survey comes from GfK MRI, formerly known as MediaMark. And they collect information on what people like to do, what shoes they buy, what theme parks they visit, what cars they drive, etc. And we use Tapestry segmentation to model that data out to the US as well. So this is a 2011 release. And then last but not least, we did update our Tapestry segmentation data. The Tapestry data is really our baseline, our critical data set for these other data sets I just mentioned. Tapestry is a lifestyle segmentation database, and it allows you to not only just understand single demographic characteristics about an area, but sort of combine it all together. Tapestry is a database that comes from analyzing about 60 different demographic characteristics and then clustering the entire United States. So what you end up with is that every neighborhood in the United States is given a type. So some of those are called milk and cookies. We've got senior style. We've got laptops and lattes. You know, you can kind of get a picture of what those neighborhoods might be like just from those names. And there's several tech workshops and demo theaters for the remainder of today and tomorrow on Tapestry data. So if you're interested in that sort of data set, I recommend you attend one of those. And number 1. we've gone international. We just released BAO for Canada. And we have plans to release Western Europe by the end of this year. And then we'll spread out into the BRIC countries, Brazil, Russia, India, China, as well as Australia and New Zealand next year. So let us away to a demo here. So here's that new look and feel. Now you can log in, choose your country, right on that login page. So the data from Canada comes from one of our data partners, Embryonics Analytics. And they produce data much like we do here in the US, produce or develop and release census data as well as updated and forecasted data. I'm just going to add in one of my sites here. Okay, so we're in the US version of Business Analyst Online right now. What I'd first like to show you is those vintage icons. You can see we've got quite a wealthy list of reports here. It's kind of hard to know which to pick and where to go. So using these icons, you can get an idea of which of these sets of data are moved into the 2010 geography or have not yet moved into the 2010 geography. And so you can easily see that here. In addition, we've got the data icons telling you exactly what data to expect to see on there. We realize that given the transition year or two that we're in, that there's quite a lot of confusion. We do have our own 2010 Esri data, which is different from Census 2010 data. So that's why we're just trying to help you all out, make you aware of what's available here. Look at some of the data. So we've also tried to group out this data. You can see we've got our 2011 demographics here. And remember, this is now based on the new Census 2010 geographies. Now, you see up here on the right, because I'm licensed for both US and Canada, I can toggle over to Canada now. So I've got all the same functionality here. Anybody have an intersection in the map? Well, I got me to Montreal. All right. And now rings or drive times. And I can choose some reports. And as mentioned, these are data sets that come from Embryonics Analytics. We've got census-based data as well as forecasted and updated data. The shopping center information comes from Rogers Publishing. Got a couple of these here. So there's the market profile for Canada. We are offering a trial to Business Analyst Online, and the trial will include access to both the United States side and the Canada side. The The trial lasts for 14 days, and you can get up to 10 reports. That's another way to try that out. Okay. There's that link for the trial. And the 10 reports is total, so it's not 10 US and 10 Canada, it's 10 total. And here's a list of those sessions I was talking about where you can learn more information. We have a 1:30 tech workshop, so that's upstairs. And that will be an overview of the entire business analyst set of products. So this is big picture down, starting with mobile all the way up to server and everything in between. We're also doing an overview of data. That will be here. That's the 1:30 showing. And then at 3:15, we'll be doing another tech workshop that talks specifically about Tapestry data. That's 3:15 in room 01B. These are part of those 20-minute tech workshops. The first 20 minutes will be an overview of Tapestry. The next 20 minutes will be a demonstration of how we use Tapestry in Business Analyst Desktop. And the last 20 minutes will be a demonstration of using Tapestry with the BAO API, for those of you creating your own applications. On Wednesday, I mentioned these two. This is the information about Census 2010, as well as information about the ACS data, American Community Survey. And those will both be here. And Thursday we have some more sessions right here in this demo theater that extend, talks about the new products that were announced yesterday in the plenary, Esri Maps for Office. So we're located at the Commercial Island, right here, you found us. And we'll be here all day today, tomorrow, and then Thursday through 1:30. Come find any of us. We've got systems set up to show any of the different components of Business Analyst. We'd be happy to talk with you if you have questions. We are putting as much information as possible out in our Resource Center. How many of you have used the Resource Center in general? Good. So we have a business analyst section where we try to put as much information as possible, how-to videos, documentation, methodologies, some use cases. So we invite you to check that out frequently. We also have the business analyst blog in that area. We use the blog to announce updates and releases and also showcase some interesting applications that our users are using. And if you would like to reach us by email, we have an alias. It's bateam@esri.com. So that's it for what's new in Business Analyst Online. Are there any questions that I can answer?
Will it be also be included in ArcGIS Online, or is it a separate application?